It's like soldiers are not allowed to feel emotions. I mean, they feel emotions, but they can't stay in it because it's like you got to move on to the next battle. You don't even have time to sit in the emotions and process what actually is going on. That's how I feel, guys. In my life, this life has been like a war. I told you guys about a week ago. I said, the Bible talks about how the righteous don't they can't wait to be up on out of here because they know this can't be reality. The only reason somebody like me would be still around is because I got some kind of job to do. I went to this is what happened when I visit like old folks homes. I don't really like it so much. I was at a one second, y'all. I was at an old folks home, and I've been to several old folks homes. You know what I mean? And this one particular time, I see a girl. She's walking. It's like real quiet when you go to an old folks home. Some of y'all know what I'm talking. You feel the feeling in the air of the spirit of people. They just go there to die, and you feel that. Can you imagine me, guys, as an empath, walking into one of these elderly senior citizen homes, where people just go basically to die? And so I saw this. This one girl. Maybe she was there visiting her mother or something, and she was walking down the hall, and I was walking towards her. And of course, she was wiping her eyes with tears. Maybe she spent an hour trying to talk to her mother or something. And of course, you get up in age, dementia starts to set in and stuff like that. So I can tell that she probably spent the whole hour, trying to stay, normal and pretend like things are the same as they've always been. You gotta stay in high spirits, for the elderly when you're around them. But then when you leave, it's like you're in tears because that individual is nowhere near of the memories that you have in your head of who and what they were. When my grandparents got older, guys, I thought I was trying to visit them and stuff, and I never could because I was always working. I have not been allowed to feel like real emotions, and every time I got close to it, it was like it was on to another war, or I had to battle some other spirit, or I had to move. I have never been allowed to just be settled in to my emotions. So I can come off very non-human. I haven't been allowed to be human. What the hell do people expect? Now everybody want to come around and say, "Oh, it's cool. It's okay. It's all." I mean, it's like a soldier. It could be all good now, but it's like a soldier coming home from war. You think that individual is just gonna be just like, okay, I'm just gonna forget about everything that happened all at once. Even if they did that, you'll say you'll still say it's something wrong with that person. Imagine a soldier coming home from war and they not displaying any signs of what they just witnessed. You'll think they crazy. And then if the soldier comes home and does have signs of what they went through, right? Then here come the people. Oh, you see, it's always this victim mode of the guy who's coming home from war. Because he been through a war, right? But getting back to the old folks home thing, yeah, I don't really like going to old folks. I don't resonate, with the energy too much. I have not been allowed to love. Can you guys imagine the system that I grew up in? All the gaslighting that was going on around me, all the fake stuff that was going on around me, all the confusion, the cognitive, I never learned to develop like real. I mean, I have empathy, but it's weird because I don't necessarily have like normal feelings. I got empathy, but it's not like I don't have like normal feelings for people like that. Like it's something that's not normal about it. Because I have this empathy, but then it's like, well, but wait a minute, how can you have empathy but it's so easy to detach? That's where the confusion comes in with people trying to analyze me and my psychology. Okay, you're supposed to be an empath, but how is it so easy for you to detach though and act like you don't even care? Guys, how is a soldier supposed to move on to the next war? Are you supposed to just sit there and lament over the bodies lying around? You can't. You got to move on to the next war. You don't have time. You don't even have time. Just like, I left this message the other day about time. Time is the number one thing that we battle in, is time. That's like the number one enemy, at least on this level it is. There's no such thing as time, but we're confined to time in this reality. Chronos. It's like a curse to live under time. Time is not your friend. I saw one chick, she was talking about we're not meant to be monogamous. I left a comment. I said, yeah, I agree with that. But it's not the point of dealing with whether you want to be polygamous or monogamous. You don't have the time to be dealing with several people. You don't even have time to deal with one these days. So whether you into monogamous relationships or polygamous or whatever, you don't have the time to deal with it. So when I go to, just to close it out, when I go to like old folks' homes and stuff, and I see like, what life really is, you put all this energy towards something. Most of the time it's to get money, right? All this energy you spend just to be sitting up there crying someplace in an old folks' home, or maybe sooner, 60 or 70 years down the road, which is not even a long time. By the time you're think about it, by the time you're a cognizant adult, you got all your scruples about you. By the time you even reach that level, which, it used to be like 25, now it's like 45. But by the time people just want to act like they got some goddamn sense out here. You only got about 20 or 30 years after that to even live your life. By the time you even gather all your scruples, by the time you even maybe know who you are, and then by the time you find that out, you only got like 20 or 30 years left anyway. And why would you even want to go past the age? What was the life expectancy? 77? Why would you even want to go past that? All you going to be dealing with past that is health problems. That's why I said I don't even know how is this even important? You see? See, I'll make sure I want to say one more thing before I end it. That's why I say I don't know what people expect out of me, to keep putting up with garbage. I feel like, technically my kindness, my patience has been taken advantage of, and still taken advantage of by this system. It's been my kindness, my kindness and my patience and my loving nature has been taken for granted. And the worst thing you can do is turn a good person bad. That's what this world will really make you do. Imagine that, a society that turns good people bad. That's how you know that, that society has to come to an end, when you turn in good people bad. Bible talks about this though, but I want to go ahead and end it. But yeah, just about the old folks home thing. Y'all don't like going to old folks home. I don't, it's sad, but I just I have not been allowed, those feelings that I confront I haven't even, and part of me is kind of glad that I don't deal with it. I told you guys all this stuff about homes, families, children. Why it's all temporary. How much could I these people, these Eastern Stars or Masons who think I don't deserve to have a life? I mean, what exactly do we mean? Are we talking about here? Oh, you mean that thing that is only temporary that they took away from me? I don't even think what they took. They're not even satisfied with what the hell they took. What does that tell you? They're not even satisfied with what they took, man. What does that tell you about this reality? It's artificial. It's not even real. So that's why part of me is kind of glad. It's always an opposite to everything. That's why I'm kind of glad that I haven't experienced what people call a home, a family, the dog, because it's all temporary. You'd be so happy and you're gonna be crying the very next day. Time goes by so fast. It seemed like it was just yesterday when everybody was healthy, all this type of stuff. See?